Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Dave Seymour on the line, and he's CEO over at Freedom Venture Investments. Dave, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, man, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about you launching a new $100 million private equity fund. The fund's name is Freedom Venture Real Estate Fund 1. But before we get into that, I do want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Freedom Venture Investments overall. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the company was created by myself and a young gentleman by the name of Eric Wilson. He's 24 years old. He's a comp-sci major, also a real estate fanatic, kind of like myself. So I learned very early on that I don't have to know everything. I just have to surround myself with people who know the stuff I don't. And Eric, my partner, and I created Freedom Venture Investments. It's an opportunity to collaborate with investors rather than the competition that tends to be out there. And we recently brought a 3rd member onto our team, a gentleman by the name of Walter Novicki. And we are a national real estate investment company focusing on a number of different strategies, but the fund has now taken up the majority of our time for sure.
Yeah, that's exciting, and I think that's a great transition. So let's just dive right into today's topic. So Freedom Venture Real Estate Fund 1. So what are your plans for this fund?
Wow, it's a mouthful when you say it like that, Adam. I got to be frank with you. I think we'll make the next fund a lot easier to get out. So, look, COVID and the crisis that it's brought not only to our nation but to the world is it's a terrible thing. We all know that. But out of chaos is created opportunity in many, many different ways. Opportunities to do good things for people, opportunity to show our humanity, opportunity to take care of each other. But in the world of business and especially in real estate, it also creates a massive opportunity to buy assets, to buy properties that unfortunately are going to be challenged due to mortgage forbearances, due to the ability to not pay rent. So look, it's sad, okay? It is. Let's just be very direct on it. Let's not call it something that it isn't. However, in business, I'm sure your listeners could agree with this, is that in business you can choose to be a service and still make good money. Mm-hmm. So what happened is the 3rd partner that I mentioned there, Walter Novicki. Walter is established down in the Gulf Coast region of Florida, Naples, Fort Myers, in that area, all the way up to pretty much up to Orlando if you followed I-75. Walter's track record in real estate has been to purchase multifamily assets, 60 to 160 unit complexes, take those assets that are underperforming, the rents aren't right, the tenancy is a little challenged, they have some deferred maintenance, they have vacancies. And in his past 30-year career, he's purchased, rehabbed, sold multiple units. And the way that he did it is through raising private capital. And Walter's track record has been to raise $125 million, deploy $125 million, pay back $125 million, and then the blended internal returns that his investors received was north of 20%. So what's happened is that Walter reached out to me because of my national reach, if you will, and said the opportunity is perfect to create a private equity fund And instead of just doing one or two deals at a time, Adam, what we do now is we buy as many of these assets as we can because we've got a checkbook with $100 million in it. And what that does is it makes us the big fish in a smaller pond, if you will, just the Gulf Coast region of Florida. We have targeted returns for our investors who invest within our fund. Over the 6 years that the capital is working, we offer them a north of 20% targeted return, which is very aggressive when you consider what's going on with the stock market and some of the other challenges that our investors are having. So that's the business side of it. The human side of it is that we get to still offer really, really decent, affordable housing to people who are going to need it. We focus on what's called a B-class asset. You know, your A-class asset is your big fancy gyms and your gorgeous swimming pools and your, top of the line security and gated communities. And we go just one class a little below that B-class. Still really, really nice assets when we finish fixing them up. Like I said, it offers clean, decent, safe, affordable housing to people who are gonna go through a correction, man. They're gonna need some help, and we'll be there to help them, and at the same time help our investors. So that's kind of like the big picture. Does that make sense the way I kind of outlined that?
So Dave, in terms of area, I want you to talk a little bit more geography-wise. So there's
sure.
the audience is people who are listening to this from all around the world. So can you talk, because and what I love about it is that you have a very specific niche, that Gulf Coast region you're mentioning, and that, when I just know that when people specialize in something and when they have, you get to know the area well. So can you, if you will, sell me on why I should be in that area investing? Let's be direct here. I like direct too, Dave.
Look at you go. You know what? I love that idea, right? Sell me on why I should be investing, and to be very direct and come right back at you. It's an opportunity, and whether somebody takes it or not doesn't change the execution plan. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting the way that works. I was listening to actually a podcast, and the guy on the call there reverberated one of my favorite sayings. And they said, can you get lucky in business? And it's never luck. The definition of luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. And the opportunity is absolutely now, and we're prepared to act upon it. And the reason that the Gulf Coast region of Florida is absolutely the right place for our strategy, for two reasons. One, it's already been stress tested repeatedly by Walter in that marketplace. So we have the verticals of construction and management and teams in place ready to take the assets and turn them around. But at the same time, the age of the population in Florida, we all think of Florida up here in New England as where everybody goes to, get one step closer to the good Lord's waiting room. You know what I mean? That's what they call it down there. But the population is actually decreasing in age. The average age now is around 41 and a half, 42 years old. And for every retiree, statistically, what they found in Florida, and especially on the Gulf Coast, is that for every retiree, it creates 4 new jobs. Now, I know that we're going through chaos. I get it. I know that unemployment is high. But COVID will be in our rearview mirror. And when it's in our rearview mirror, we will pick up the pieces again. And we're going to have that population growth continue down there. It's ranked 7th, I believe, in growth population through 17 and 18, and they expected that to continue. I don't know, it's ranked 5th for retirees in the country. Some other statistics, best for business, ranked number 7 in the country for best for business. So it offers all of the pieces, if you will, the indicators for us to say, yeah, this is the right market. Now, there are other markets in the country that have some of the same indicators. The Carolinas, for example, are real good. Austin, Texas has now become a focus of attention thanks to our friend over at the car company there. What the heck's his name? I just had a little brain. What's the car company? Yeah, Elon Musk. Elon Musk just said, hey, I'm leaving California. I'm going to Texas.
You mean my cousin Elon Musk? Yeah, right.
Your cousin Elon, right?
Cousin Elon. Cousin.
We just call him the muskrat in my area. You know what I mean?
I just call him Cuz.
But these guys wave a wand, and it creates a ripple effect through not only our domestic economy but international. So, it's job growth within the MSA. It's income status. It's, demographics. All of these play in and tick all the boxes for us to be able to say, yeah, we're gonna go there. No income tax. I mean, there's no state income tax down in Florida as well. So it's got a lot of benefits which are, attractive to us as investors.
That's awesome. So, Dave, if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about Freedom Ventures investments or about your new fund, so Freedom Venture Real Estate Fund 1, what's the best way for them to connect and get more info and follow up?
Yeah, it's look, I'm 53 years old, so I don't go too crazy with all the social media. So now I'm old school, and I rely pretty much on our front door, which is our website. So you can go to freedomventure.com, freedomventure.com, and on there you'll be able to pick up some information about the company. We're very excited. We just put on a new advisory board member, a gentleman by the name of Kevin Harrington. You might recognize him from the hit TV show Shark Tank. So Kevin came on, likes what we're doing. He's part of our advisory board. You'll find some information about myself and him on there. And then at the bottom of that page, that front page, is actually, if I can, give a gift to your listeners. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Please do. And I'm happy to hear you have my cousin Kevin on there, too. Geez, this is awesome. It's a family business over here. Go ahead. I didn't know we were related.
It's a family business. It's family, cuz one, cuz two. At the bottom of that page, I co-authored a book with my property manager, a gentleman by the name of John Dessauer. And we call it Unlocking the Code to Multifamily. It's kind of like the business model, if you will, behind how we do what we do. But there's a free download there. Nice read. I mean, get some of the fundamentals and the core principles of multifamily investing and why it's beaten every other investment out there statistically. Over a 20-year look back, it's always performed better than the bond market and the stock market. But you'll get a good grounding, good foundation. You'll learn a little more about us. If you are an accredited investor and you're looking for an alternative investment opportunity, you could click on a button that says Access the PPM. That's called the Private Placement Memorandum. You'll have to fill out some information there. You can only take a peek at that if you are an accredited investor, but that'll give you a more in-depth look at our business plan. And then if you see an opportunity and it makes sense to you, we can connect, walk you through the subscription process, and bring you into the company and the partnership.
Awesome. Well, Dave, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background, all the great stuff you're doing with this new fund. Wishing you the best of luck. I mean, you have some great win-win propositions that you're offering, so that's always great stuff. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. I'd love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Dave, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks, man. God bless. Stay safe.